The annual performance review can be a stressful experience for both managers and employees. In this video, I'll talk about some best practices to make the annual performance review a productive, fruitful, and enjoyable experience. Hello, I'm Stephen Goldberg of Optimist Performance, bringing you practical tips and ideas on leadership, teamwork, and personal productivity in the workplace. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so, and put a thumbs up at the end if you like this video. I've often spoken to managers and employees alike who say they dread the experience of going through the annual performance review, and for good reasons. And often it's because employees don't know what to expect, and managers have not done what they need to do during the year to prepare for that annual review. Many companies such as Deloitte, Accenture, and even Microsoft have done away with the annual performance review, as they found that it has not contributed to the overall productivity of the organization and of the employee. So what to do instead? What I recommend, and this is in line with my recommendation to take on a coaching style of leadership, is to meet with the employee regularly to give feedback. And that's different than just patting them on the back from time to time and giving positive or negative feedback. It's actually a coaching session where you get to sit down with the employee and talk about how they're doing in their job, what is being done well, what are their goals and objectives, doing a review of what you've established perhaps at the beginning of the year in the annual review. Now, some companies have certain criteria to go through during an annual performance review. So if they have, it's even more important to meet regularly with the employee to discuss those criteria and try and align it with the expectations of the job. Now, sometimes annual performance reviews contain very general criteria on which to evaluate the employee. So that's great, but you also want to make it personalized. If you don't already have criteria established, I don't suggest going out and finding a template with already made criteria. I mean, there are those that exist, and they're contained in free software, free surveys that the employee can complete and you can complete, and then you can compare notes. But I suggest making it more personalized. And one way to do that is to start with a role description, a job description. And I have a video or a few videos actually, that walk you through how to write a role description. And I'll put a link to that in the description of this video. And at the top of the screen, you see the little eye icon. You can click on that and go right to that video. And there's also a link in the description to the form that I've created, the template to write a role description. I provide information on how to make a job description specific to the job, and even to establish minimum performance standards. So if you write that role description and you meet with the employee on a regular basis, I'd say every quarter, so every 3 months, and you discuss how the person is doing in terms of the tasks related to the job, the responsibilities, and the objectives or the performance standards that you may have set. By meeting regularly, you'll remove the stress of meeting to do the annual performance review only once a year. You'll have prepared the ground, and each of you will have a better idea of what to expect in that annual performance review. One other thing that you can include in your regular meetings with the employee is to evaluate you as a manager, how you're doing in terms of providing support. I'll talk about that more in future videos. So again, if you're not already subscribed, I suggest you do so. At the end of the year, the annual performance review is a good time to wrap everything up. Celebrate your successes, talk about training and development needs for the upcoming year. So doing a little bit longer projection is a good practice to put in place at that time. So just to summarize, I suggest meeting regularly with employees, taking a coaching style of leadership, have a discussion with them on how they're doing in their job, also maybe discuss how you're doing as a manager to support them. and use a role description if you don't have already established criteria. So I hope you find these tips practical and that you'll take action on them right away. Here's another video that's recommended for you. If you like the content, please give this video a thumbs up, share it, and leave a comment. Visit my website to find articles that accompany these videos, such as the one on writing a role description, where you can download the job description template and example. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk again soon.